Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Aissa Edon. I'm sorry, I have to apologize for my French accent. You have to bear with me. I'm sure you will understand me. Yeah. So I'm coming today to talk about female genital mutilation. So we call also that FGM, or we call also that cutting, or female circumcision. So there is different wording for the same thing. At the end of the day, it still is child abuse. So I don't know if you know a little bit of background about FGM, but FGM is a practice in most of 28 African countries, but it's not only an African matter. There is FGM practice in Yemen, there is FGM practice in Asia, there is FGM practice in Middle East. So it's quite a wide part of the world who is practicing this kind of female genital mutilation. The highest prevalence is still in Somalia, in Guinea, and also Mali, where I'm from. But we can see there is an increase of FGM in countries like UK, country like Australia, country like Canada, and all the Europe, because there is migration, so people they bring their custom to the country they come in, and so we can see now in UK FGM to be being practiced. So you can see it's quite a big number here. You can see annually there is 2 million of girls undergoing FGM, so we really need to talk about it. You can see 10,000 to 20,000 girls are being undergone FGM in UK. So this kind of number is estimation. It's not the reality. It's not the fact. We don't have the fact, unfortunately, but we assume the number can be really bigger than that. So what is FGM? What is female genital mutilation? Female genital mutilation is defined by all procedures involve partial or total removal of the female genitalia, or external genitalia, or injury done to the female organs. And there is no cultural, is only a cultural reason. There is no religious reason, or there is no therapeutic reason for that. So FGM can be quite simple, and FGM can be quite complicated. I want to apologize. I can see there is some kids around here. I've got like a little bit of shocking images, so I want you to be just warned about that, okay? So I want to show you what is the normal anatomy, because we need to know what is the normal anatomy and to see what FGM do to the normal anatomy. So you can see what is a normal anatomy. There is a clitoris here, and there is minor labials, and there is also major labials. It's in French, so don't try to describe, to look at it. You can't read, yeah? But at least you know what is the normal anatomy, yeah? So there is 4 types of FGM. The type 1 is called also clitoridectomy. So they cut the clitoris totally, or they cut a little part of the clitoris. So that means they do this kind of thing. So you can see here the gray part is the part they removed. There is the type 2 of female genital mutilation. So it's a partial or total removal of the clitoris, and also the removal of the minor labials. So that's the clitoris. So it was removed previously. And there is the minor labia. So that's the type 2. They increase the consequences, yeah? The type 3 of FGM. So that's the one is really difficult for us, and difficult for us as I'm a midwife. So for midwifery, this one is really the one we have to spot and make sure we identify the ladies with type 3, because that's the one we have the most consequences in childbirth. So it's called infibulation, and that means they cut the clitoris, or sometimes they leave the clitoris. They will cut the minor labials, and they sometimes cut the major labials, or they leave them, and they sew together the leftover of the skin, or they sew together the major labials. So that means they leave only a small opening like that, allow the menstruation to go out and to allow the urine outflow, and they also leave this small space to have intercourse. So can you imagine what small is it? It is, yeah? So that is the type 3 FGM. So you can see here all the gray area, that's the area they are touched in the type 3 FGM. So they will cut the clitoris, they will cut the minor labials, and they will sew together the major labial. So you can see the small opening at the end. So that's real life consequences of female genital mutilation. That's type 3 of female genital mutilation done to a little girl. She's only a few months old. This one is also a little baby, and you can see you can't see any where the urine can come out, and that's obviously everything stay inside. So this little girl needs to be opened. The same. I told you, it's quite shocking, but I think we need to know what is it really. And because people will say there's no consequences, or it's something minor, it's not. And you can see in this little girl, she will have consequences for life. And this is the type 4 FGM. So it's all the thing we can classify. So it's all the unclassified practice, like pricking, piercing, stretching the labials, cauterization of the skin, and more and more. So the world prevalence for female genital mutilation, I told you there is 28 countries in Africa, but you can see the brown, really brown area here are the one there is more than 90% of the population, the little girl, more than 90% of little girls, they undergone FGM. The greater one is the other brown area, little bit lighter, is between 70% to 89%. So you can see it's quite, the prevalence is quite high. So I don't think it's time to go on justification and why they practice that. But just to give you a little bit of background, I think it can be interesting, and you will see why it's interesting, because all the justification we can challenge them, and we need to challenge them because that's this justification. They have no sense. Yeah. So most of the girls were cut before they were cut between 8 years old to 14 years old, and now they changed the practice. They start to little babies, 40 days old little babies, they start to do this kind of practice. So before it was seen as a rite of passage. That means you go from the childhood to the adulthood thanks to the female genital mutilation. Now, 40 days, do you think a 40 days little girl go to the adulthood at this time? I don't think so. So most of the time it's done by traditional practitioner, and it's not done generally by women, but there is also men, and most of the time these men are doctors. They use razor, they will use blades, they will use knife, they will use scissors. Anything they can use to cut, they will use it. And you have to be aware, at this time, they don't clean the tools. So they will use the tools for many little girls. So you can imagine all the infection you will have through that. So you can see female genital mutilation is done without anesthesia. So no local anesthesia. You go to the dentist, you will have a local anesthesia. This little girl, they have one of the most important part of their body cut. They won't have any anesthesia. they will use knife, a dirty knife. They will use no anesthesia. So I'll let you imagine all the consequences of that. And after that, it's not enough. They will use some herbal medicine to cauterize the place. So you can see also the complication you can have when you use things from the wood. Yeah. So as I said, justification, they can be all challenged. And cultural sensitivity has no place on this matter. So we need to challenge everyone who say anything about justification. And can I just let you have a read through, because I think it's really, you need to read that and understand we need to challenge this kind of thing. Because if you look at the clitoris is a snake, and head is a venom and can put the man impotent. So all the British guys, sorry, you are infertile and impotent, okay? Because you ladies are not have no FGM. So can we challenge that? Hello, can we challenge that?
Of course.
Of course. This organ is dangerous for the baby, and if the baby head touch the clitoris, baby can be crazy or baby can die. Can we challenge that?
Yes.
Yes, we can. So that's your role, to challenge anybody who said that to you, because that is not making any sense. Okay, so let's go to the complication of female genital mutilation. There is a lot of complication. I can spend an hour to explain to you all the complications, but I will go quickly. I will take the most important ones. So when you have the FGM done to you, so what they cut a part of your body. The clitoris is an organ with a lot of nerves, a lot of blood flow going there. So of course you will have hemorrhage, you will have pain, because nerves make to pain. This little girl will be in shock because she wasn't prepared to go and to be cut. So she will be in shock. And also to have some blood coming out will induce shock, yeah? You can have infection. Urinary retention, because you remember this small hole, it's really hard to have the urine go through that. So you will have urinary retention, yeah? And you will have injury to the adjacent tissue, because of course, the little girl, she doesn't want that. So she will fight against it. So because she will be held and she will fight against it, she will have broken bones. She will have other tissue touched by that. So there is, after a while, when she managed to recover with all happened to her, she will have other complications. So that's the late complication. There is long-term complication also, and they lead to a gynae complication. So here I won't say anything, I will just show you pictures. That's the gynae complication. That's, as a midwife, what I can see. So a lady who wants to deliver a baby with a small hole like that, do you think it's possible? No. Nope. What's happened? That's what is happening, yeah? So this lady, she lost her baby and she had cycles after all. You can understand why, yeah? So there is definitely a psychological impact, but the ultimate complication, what is it? Is death. So I will go a little bit quicker because I know I don't have a lot of time. But in the UK, the law says it's an offense. So we need to make sure we have this message. It's an offense, it's a child abuse, and we need to challenge everybody who's doing that. So as I say, conclusion, FGM is a child abuse. It's a violation of the human right. It's based in false beliefs, and is not related to the religion. And this practice it leads to complication and death. And it's everybody's business, everybody's business. So quickly, my story, because why I'm fighting against FGM, because unfortunately, at 6 years old, I was undergone FGM myself. I had that done to me by some family members. I was brought up by my stepmother to a place to have FGM done to me without to tell me anything about it. And so I can always, and I will always remember the pain, the shouting, the blood coming through. So the psychological impact will stay with me for life. And because I don't want to be a victim, I had complication, I had urinary complication, I had a lot of difficulties, but I won't go through that now. If you want to talk with me, I'm more than happy for you to come to me after all. But in the end of the day, I'm not a victim, I'm not a survivor, I'm a fighter. And I need to fight against FGM. And the way I fight against FGM, I opened this lovely place called Hope Clinic. And this clinic is for me, I call that my baby because it's really my baby. And I dreamed about it, and I make sure everything will go well. And this place is in Ealing Hospital, where I'm working at the moment. I'm a midwife there. So we welcome ladies at the moment, because of finance, it's only pregnant ladies, but hopefully one day we can welcome everybody. And this place is really to do prevention, education, treatment. So it can be physical treatment, but it can also be psychological treatment. So it's really, we look at all the aspects of and all the complications of FGM, and we try to find a solution for these ladies. I was also lucky. I was raised in France, and in France we have this amazing doctor who do reconstruction of the clitoris. So I did have the opportunity to have my clitoris back to me. So also I will really want to fight in this country for the girls to be able to have this kind of treatment.